you, Connor. Good morning. This is a convening of the Massachusetts Gaming Commission. It is agenda setting meeting 189. Today is, I can't believe this, it's April the 2nd, 2025, and it's approximately 10:01 a.m. We're holding this meeting virtually, so we will do a roll call. I will note off the beginning that Commissioner Hill and Commissioner Broder are unavailable today. Good morning, Commissioner O'Brien.
Good morning, I am here.
And good morning, Commissioner Skinner.
Good morning.
All right. So with that, we are going to turn to Secretary Skinner for the minutes.
Okay, Mr. Chair, I move that the commission approve the minutes from the March 19th, 2025 agenda setting meeting that are in our packet, subject to any necessary corrections for typographical errors or other non-material matters.
Second.
Thank you. Commissioner O'Brien.
Aye.
Commissioner Skinner.
Aye.
And I vote yes. That's 3 votes. 2 are absent. All right, we are going to move on to the agenda planning. So for that, let's turn it to page 2. I won't read every date in here, just to note their public meetings, adjudicatory hearings, as well as some agenda setting meetings. They run the gamut from April 3rd until June 25th. Any questions, comments, concerns from commissioners of the team?
Mr. Chair, the one thing I would just raise is that we do have 2 additional dates that are for late May that are tentative at this point, but I just want to make the commissioners aware of them. That would be on May 28th. We are tentatively scheduling the alcohol beverage license renewal for Encore Boston Harbor. And on April 29th, there's an individual qualifier suitability hearing we're trying to schedule for an individual qualifier for Encore. I don't imagine that will take the whole day. I think polls were recently sent out. I imagine that will probably be an hour or 2.
Yeah, and you saw, I think they've seen this on the calendar, but I have a hard stop around 11 that day. So
yeah, I think that my understanding is this will be relatively straightforward.
Quick.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
not a full day, but thank you for doing so.
Commissioner O'Brien, is it okay if we hold it for now? Then
yeah, perfect.
if we
Yep.
see something changing, we'll move it.
Yeah.
All right. With that, if there's nothing to add, we'll move on to page 3. Right. We're missing the header on page 3. Oh, here it is, April 10th. So ED Serpa, will we have an administrative update?
I will hold that time, but I might forfeit it in real life.
Okay. Commissioner Skinner, meeting minutes.
Yes, please hold that time. In addition to the executive session minutes, we'll have public meeting minutes to review as well.
All right, thank you. Commissioner Hill will have us hold the legislative update. Councilor Grossman, amendments to racing regulations.
Good morning. Yeah, that one is Mel's, and there she is. I think we're ready to go. Is that right?
Yeah. Good morning. Yes, we are ready to go. I just would note that we've added one more regulation, which is the regulation to establish a mortality review committee. So that will be in addition to the ones that we described last week. And just a reminder that we will bring those forward with a request for a vote for emergency enactment. And the 2x2s with commissioners have been scheduled.
Thank you, Councilor. Any questions?
I do have a question. I couldn't catch what committee you referenced, Mel. Sorry.
Sure, it's a mortality review committee. So in the event of the death of a horse, this regulation is establishing the committee for review.
Thank you.
And I believe that Dr. Lightbound, she at a previous meeting did reference the committee. So
yes,
good to look at those. Any other questions for Councilor Fox? All right. Chief Teresi.
Yes, good morning. We will be all set for these 2 items.
All right. Director Monahan.
We actually will not have any non-compliance items for the 10th, so we can take that off the agenda.
Okay. Are we going to talk about security at the garage?
We are going to talk about security at the garage, and timing wise, because I believe there will be some participants from Vegas. They've asked that we go towards the end of the meeting to the extent possible.
Okay. They're going to be joining us from the West Coast. I hear. All right. Director Van der Linden, I think we're going to kick it to you.
Yes, we will be set to go.
Okay. And Dr. Lightbound, good morning.
Good morning.
You have the last 3 scheduled items.
Yep. So the commissioners toured the Rainham facility last week. I don't know where there's still a fair amount of things to be completed down there if we want to push this off. And it sounded like they wouldn't be looking to actually be in the building for, a while. So however the commissioners feel on that issue.
Commissioners, are we good with pushing this until it's ready for review? I'm getting yeses, Dr. Lightbound, so we'll take your lead on that.
Okay. And then we're ready for the racing annual report. That'll probably take maybe 15 minutes.
All right.
And the recognition of the Jockey Guild as the group representing the majority of the jockeys, that is what is necessary to be able to give out the funds, the 65,000 under the 128A regulation. And that should be fairly quick, maybe 10 minutes.
All right. Okay, anything else to add?
And no.
And I'm sure you'll be a part of those regulatory discussions that we talked about earlier.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
I will. Thank you.
Perfect. All right. Commissioners team, anything to add to this date? Commissioner O'Brien.
So either this date or maybe the next one, I would love for some combination of maybe legal and sports wagering to give us an update on the prediction exchange market activity. I know that was in the news about looking at Robinhood and the interplay with sports betting and some of the other prediction markets. So probably not ready for the 10th, but I would like to get that maybe under review or in one of the meetings in April or May.
Yeah, more than happy to do that, Commissioner. Gary and I have been watching this closely and often talk about it. So I think we could pretty quickly I'll speak for myself, not for Gary, but I could certainly put some pen to paper and do a brief memo kind of summarizing where all that lies. And welcome Gary's input, but I know she's missing them.
Right.
Yeah, no, agreed. Seconded to everything Justin just said.
Okay. So whichever date you guys think is a reasonable one for you that works in the schedule.
We'll add that to under review when we get there. Thank you, Commissioner O'Brien. I know we've all been reading the news on that issue. It'd be good to get an update. I see Beniswa. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. I would like to add something. We would like the LEAF to provide a grant update. Per their grant, they're supposed to provide a presentation to the commission. And this is the time that they're supposed to do it. And we would like to add about 10 minutes for their proposal.
Okay, I'm good with that. Are we good with that, commissioners? I think we're good.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Councilor Hintoff, I see your mic is off.
Yes, good morning, Chair and Commissioners. I would like to request that to have an executive session on the 10th as well in order to continue discussions on union negotiations. It should probably take no more than, I would say, half an hour for that discussion. And due to scheduling issues, I would ask that it be scheduled towards at the beginning of the meeting. As I said, scheduling issues with our outside counsel, Attorney Connolly.
All right, that sounds good. We can we'll put you at the beginning and we'll put MGM at the end. It sounds like.
Thank you.
Not the main beginning, Grace. You can. What Grace, what do we have? You went off mic for a second.
No, sorry. Nothing on my end. We will
All right.
take care of all those scheduling issues.
Thank you. Anything else to add to the 10th? All right, let's turn it to page 4. Talk about April the 24th. ED SERPA, are we going to hold the update? All right.
Yeah.
Commissioner, thank you. Commissioner Skinner.
Yes, please, let's hold a minute.
I'm gonna, you didn't say on this date, but I'm gonna go ahead and hold that for Commissioner Hill for legislative update. Never hurts to hold it. Councilor Grossman, regulations from your team.
I think we are okay for now.
Okay. Right. Chief Teresi.
I don't anticipate any sports wagering items on the 24th.
Thank you. Let's talk non-compliance matters.
I also don't anticipate any non-compliance matters on the 24th.
And then the VSC program update. I have that for you, Director Van Glenden.
Yeah, we will have a presentation ready.
Right. Anything else to add to the 24th?
Something that we might want to add on is the having a discussion about process for the annual review of the executive director. ED SERPA's passed the 1-year mark, so we did sort of the informal, but we have had a process in the past. Might be worth looking at what that form is, what it is, so that we can get Commissioner Broder in particular has not participated in, and we can figure out who wants to be on the committee and the timeline we want to have.
Yeah, we typically, don't we do those reviews together, Commissioner O'Brien?
So we do them, we have a form where it's sort of all done, there's a self-eval, and then we've each done our individual ones and given individualized feedback. And then if we want to share sort of commonalities publicly, that deals with OML and public records issues and complies with the law. So that's how we've done it historically. And there's a default form we've been using for the last few years.
Yeah, I remember Karen Wells was always a little, she never
I'm sure it's a fun day.
The positive feedback was the one that made her most uncomfortable, I always found.
Yeah.
All right, Commissioner Skinner, I see your.
Just a question. Commissioner O'Brien, you mentioned a committee.
So it's more, several years ago, Commissioner Stebbins and I were sort of tasked with updating the form because it hadn't been updated in a while.
Oh,
And then we've been using that form. So I think a conversation of here's the form, we have a new commissioner. Do we want to have a couple people look at updating it? Or if not, then we can just kind of march on with a timeline.
Got it. Thank you.
All right, so it's a twofold question. First of all,
Right.
threshold, do we want to update the form or is the form good? Second is we have to fill out the form and actually do the review.
Right.
Okay, I got you. All right. We'll hold that. Anything else for the 24th? All right, let's go under review. I'll go ahead and note, Commissioner O'Brien, we will hold that exchange market conversation.
Mhm.
What about the compliance committee?
It's still under review as well.
All right. The discussion of illegal markets.
Yeah, so Commissioner Skinner flagged that she had reached out to the AG's office as well. I know Todd also did. We're looking to get a more particularized meeting with Commissioner Skinner and myself and them. I would also throw in those regulated prediction markets as well, Todd, in terms of, I think, what Commissioner Skinner and I are going to want on the agenda.
And I'm sitting here thinking the exchange isn't too far behind either, even though
Right.
I mean, I think we're talking about non-regulated entities trying to do things that look very regulated.
Correct.
Yeah. All right. So maybe you and Commissioner Skinner will work on that too.
Yeah.
Throw it all in there. Thank you. I appreciate it. the early economic impact of sports betting in the Commonwealth. Director Van der Linden.
Yeah, let's keep that under review. It's near the finish line, but under review.
All right. Chief Teresi, are we keeping the next matter under review?
We are keeping the next one under review, but number 5, the catalog language, we could move that one to the first May meeting, the May 7th meeting.
All right, sounds good. That was some clarification around some language.
Right.
All right. Potential clarification, say it that way. The Revere HCA, last we talked, there's a letter that may circulate to all of us at some point.
Yep, that's accurate, and we're still working on a draft of that. But Todd and I will work on that and get it to you to look at.
All right, we will hold that then. BCLC, Director Van der Linden.
Under review still.
Thank you. Advertising, one of my favorite topics. Chief Teresi. Todd's on there too.
Judy, you were gonna. Yeah.
Yes. Good morning, Chair. Good morning, Commissioners. I can take this one. I've done some brief research across the United States, in Europe, Australia, and the UK, and I've prepared a short memo and presentation for you. So if we can bring that forward, probably sometime in May, early May if possible. I think the 7th is slated to be a public meeting.
That sounds like a very educational.
Thanks very much.
All right. I will say I took comparative constitutional law, Morehead State University. I learned that we had the First Amendment, and that I often have to think about what they're doing in other countries vis-a-vis that First Amendment. I'm sure that'd creep up in there too. Thank you, Councilor Young. CMF application reviews. That's Chief Delaney.
Yeah, that's still under review. We'll be getting a bit more clarity on when we want to move ahead with things, probably towards the end of this month. But right now, we're thinking towards the end of May, and maybe doing a separate meeting or two to go through these rather than piggybacking them onto commission meetings, but that's still yet to be determined.
Okay. Just, keep us updated on how you're wanting to do that. Director Van der Linden, you mentioned the Springfield Youth Health Survey report.
Yeah, just waiting on to hear back from presenters on dates that they're available. So under review.
All right, look forward to that. With the addition of Commissioner O'Brien's matter, anything else to add to under review? All right. Do we have an motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Commissioner O'Brien?
Aye.
Commissioner Skinner?
Aye.
And I vote yes, 3-0. Everyone enjoy your Wednesday.
Did someone time it?
We're at about 18 minutes, Commissioner O'Brien. And we will all gather tomorrow for an update.
Have a good day.